Hey, Jared. Okay, so how's everybody's night going? I have like a little bit of time, maybe 20 minutes. I wanted to make sure I got on here to encourage whoever needs it. I know at night sometimes can be the worst. I'm feeling a little bit better today. I still have a little bit of a cold, but it's not as bad. Um, I guess you could say I don't like speaking that stuff. I'm a little bit overwhelmed with everything just going on. God has so much for me to do. There's only so much time, but I'm just trying to do my best. I feel like the way, you guys do to a degree, because when it's not your marriage, it's just going to be something else. And we have to almost get used to that, because it's never going to be in a place to where you have the answers for everything. It's never going to be in a place to where you're completely comfortable with life. I'm just going to be honest. Like, you're never going to be in a place to where you're just comfortable. You're just like, bring it. Does this make sense? Like, in other words, we're all going to be in a position to where we have a hard time. You know what I mean? It's just the way that it is. And God's going to expect more and more. He's going to expect more and more. And it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with that. But you got to get yourself in a place to where you just almost, you get really comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's the best thing I want to tell you. You get comfortable with being uncomfortable. So right now, I'm not going to lie, I'm a little uncomfortable, but I'm going to keep on pressing forward. Yes. Okay, so what I want to say in regards to that, it would be nice to have your helpmate. Here's what I want to, here's what I want you to look at it, Jared. If she was back, it would just be something else. I was telling a client this earlier. I was telling him, actually, you know who you are, that if his wife was back, it would just be a matter of time before it was something else. This is something that we don't realize, that we're just the type of humans to where it's never enough. We always want more and more and more. And when it's not the marriage, we'll want more finances. We'll want more, provision, in some other ways. We'll want another kid. Like, it's always going to be something. So that's why God's letting us go through this process for development, to get us to a place to where it's not, what's the word for it? It's not going to be the type of thing to where it's going to control your life anymore. That's the best way I want to put it. It's not going to control your life anymore. But I get what you're saying. But when your spouse and you are finally coming back together, you're going to be in a different place too. I hope this makes sense. So who's all on here? It seems like it's a dry night. Like, people keep popping on and popping off, popping on. So tomorrow is movie night. I have to send the links out tomorrow to whoever is going. Okay, so Barter Crystal. Okay, so I don't know what your name is, Crystal. So I have bits and pieces of my testimony on my channel. However, anybody that works with me knows I don't give my full testimony. I don't give my full business, because God says I have to protect myself. Because here's the thing. I was just revealed the other day. A client told me what God had already told me, how there's monitoring spirits on my channel. I have people on here that are witches and warlocks, satanists, all kinds of stuff. So I don't give all my business of what goes on. I give bits and pieces. You have to protect yourself. I learned the hard way. I did a word on this, I think it was last week. We have to be very careful what we share. People wonder why they start seeing success and good stuff in their life. And then, other than like a counselor or a coach, they start telling people, and think about how many people are on my channel, and they wonder why things don't go their way. When God gives the green light, that's when you can like start telling a little bit, but you have to be very careful. And I was just warned of monitoring spirits on my channel, so I have to be very careful, honey. My clients know a little more information, but I don't even tell them all. The only people that know my, like, all my businesses are basically, like I said, if you have a counselor or a coach, that would be who you would tell physically all your stuff to, because God sent them to work with you. But yeah, reconciliation and restoration is a process. It is very, very messy. It's very difficult. And if you are in the position to where you have expectations of it looking like a movie, it's going to be a lot more challenging to get to that result. You have to truly die to your flesh every day. You have to truly give up how you think it should look, what you think it should look like. So, okay, I know I see you on here all the time. What's your name? WDKOFC, so I can call you by name. I wish I would have filmed it, guys. I made a very healthy, I know there's people like I'm working with that I'm making meal plans for. I made a really healthy burger. It was a grass-fed burger. 8515. Aldi's, you can get the 8515 there. It's very good. I made a real like thin patty in a cast iron skillet, like real thin. You know, put cheese on it, and I put it on Ezekiel bread. It was so good. They sell like obviously like the avocado oil mayonnaise at the store. Put that on it with romaine lettuce, tomato, onion, all the things. And these new pickles that Aldi's has that are made of like turmeric and stuff. It's like bread and butter, but really, really good. I should have filmed it and put it on my other channel, but I completely forgot. I completely forgot. I got to start putting some more content on that too. I was like doing real good the first week, and then I just got so tired. One of my clients, actually, this was interesting, had a dream about me that I was so frustrated that I was like pushing cards into something. And it was funny because I was like I wasn't frustrated, but I was stressed. So like I completely can understand you guys, you know, being that way, because I experienced it too. So I guess somewhere people think like when you do this for a living that somehow you don't struggle. That is like not true at all. But how's everybody's night going? How's everybody's night going? How's everybody's night going? So I wanted to specify what I was talking about earlier now that I'm on live to better explain. So anybody that's on here, I did a word earlier about how God can tell you to take off your wedding ring, take down your wedding pictures, take, you know, your name off of things. Like right now, one of my clients getting words from God about removing her name from their assets. And when you get these words, you know, from God, it's upsetting. You know, a lot of people struggle. They have a hard time. Hey, Dennis. They have a hard time hearing these things because what's attached to that is a spirit of fear that God won't restore the marriage, a spirit of rejection. There's so many things attached to what we feel. And I wanted to specify that by no means am I saying to give up on the marriage, to move on, none of those things. As a matter of fact, when God, how he did it with me actually was, so I had my wedding ring taken off because I felt like a fool. And then I put it back on a few months later. And then it got to a point to where God was like, I had no peace wearing it. And I didn't understand what that was about. And I just kept wearing it anyway. Like, I felt like that's what you were supposed to do. And then God more or less told me, look, I'm your husband. He gave me Isaiah 54. And then he more or less wanted me to get a new ring and wear it for him. So I did it. And it was weird because I felt so much better. It was weird because initially I was like freaked out about it. And one of my clients was talking on here about like how they don't want to like look available to people. And I didn't want to either. And that like solved the problem because I wore a new ring for God and it was awesome. Like God was truly my husband. Well, then, he was my husband and I no longer, oh, this cat. I no longer had worn my ring. And I remember, I don't know if you guys know who Meltoria Woodside is, but she was talking about that too, about like how God gave her a new ring, like when her marriage was restored and stuff, and how people would get new rings and don't hold on to the old and stuff. And I didn't understand any of that stuff, but a lot of people were talking about that. And then there's people that obviously kept theirs on. So of course there's always going to be a different story. Now there's people that kept theirs on that were in the home with their spouses. So then that's a whole different story. Then there's people obviously that live in the home with their spouses. So their testimony will look differently. But the reason why I gave that word is because it's so common that takes place. And people automatically will think when God's telling them, I want you to get off of assets. Like right now, like I said, some of my clients are being told to get off of their spouse's assets. So common sense, that would be very, very scary, especially if you don't know anything about it. God had told me, I remember, to get off my husband's car insurance. Now think about that. I had two things. I didn't want to pay for my own car insurance. And I also didn't want to do that because it was like something I had left of the marriage. Okay. But see, what I didn't realize is I really needed to completely let go of everything for God to start giving my stuff back. Okay. So again, pray about all this. Mine as well. I thought it was funny today when I seen your video about the rings. I just had to, girl, confirmation. You're going to be getting new rings, girl. New rings. Okay. So let me just tell you how it happened with me. I kept feeling this pressing to take the pictures down, take the pictures down. And I'm like, no, it's the devil, it's the devil, it's the devil. And then my coach went on to confirm, that it was God. And then God himself used my son to do it. You want to hear how it was done? So how it happened was I just kept getting God. It was like almost like God was saying, it's time, take those pictures down. That's attached to the old marriage. So I didn't like it. The flesh never likes it, but how I always put it to people is if the flesh doesn't like it and we know the devil, okay, is not, think about how the devil is. The devil doesn't want you to let go of idolatry. He wants you to idolize the old. He wants you to idolize everything, including the marriage, all that stuff. So what he'll do is he wants to keep you in that place of idolatry. So when you're breaking free and you're getting freedom, things happen. Crazy things happen. So what happened with me is I woke up one day and my son had said to me, Mama, why don't you and Daddy live together? So I said, well, you're going to have to ask him yourself because I wasn't going to talk about him. And then he said, well, then why do you have pictures up? Look, you have pictures on the wall. And it was almost like God was speaking through him that day, and then God confirmed to me that it was him. Like, in other words, he was telling me, yeah, it's been me telling you about these pictures. Now pack them up. Now I didn't have to throw them out. I just had to pack them up. But see, what you don't understand is, and then my coach said she ripped up her marriage certificate. She had to do that. She had to take her husband off the phone plan. You wonder why all these things happen, but it's all attached to the old marriage. Okay? And then God's going to make completely new. Mark, I took all mine down because it hurt too much to look at them. So that's another reason. So like my brother, he said that too. Like how it hurts so bad having the pictures up. And I get that. And something I encourage you all to do is not only like that stuff, decorate your home, like literally things that your spouse didn't want you to do, start doing. So like something I encourage people, get new furniture if you can do it. Get new paint your place, make it brighter. Do what your spouse didn't want you to do. Okay, like if you want butterflies in your house, put butterflies in your house. Like if you want a hot pink wall, make a hot pink wall. I'm not saying you got to do all that. What I'm saying is start living and doing for you what you want to do. Okay, this is what a lot of people don't do. They don't do this. It's almost like they're sitting around just waiting to live. No, start living now. I'm telling you, start living now. That's what you want to do. That is the easiest way to get into spiritual alignment and get all your prayers answered. It's almost like every time I gave something up completely and started enjoying my life and really working on me is when everything worked out. I'm telling you. See? Look at that. That's spiritual alignment, Mark. That is spiritual alignment. You're doing great. So what does everybody want to do new to their homes? What does everybody want to do new? Let's hear it. See, girl? Confirmation. Confirmation. And I can help you with that. Email me. I don't know if you're on the Facebook group. Come on the Facebook group. Get in contact with me. Definitely would love to help you, girl. This is what I do every day. I'm telling you, this journey doesn't have to be as hard as people make it to be. See? Move into a new house, want to make it feel warm. What are you going to do to make it feel warm? Yep, opening up a wall, extend that house, make it bigger. That's what you want to start doing. You garden, that's a great one. And you know what? Gardening, hey Raina, gardening is such a therapeutic thing to do. My nanny, she started gardening when my mom and my aunt moved out of the house. She felt real, lonely, and she didn't know what to do with her life. A lot of people get that way when their kids move out of the house. And she took up the hobby gardening. And she said she found God in the garden. It brought her so much peace, so much joy, so much happiness, gardening. Okay, like some people really, that's their thing. If that's something that you enjoy, you do it, Leah. You do it. Take up a hobby. What brings you joy? What brings you joy? Tile my shower, rip out the old carpet in the bedroom, paint some accent walls, fix a few things that have been neglected. See, look at how God's putting that on your heart. God's putting that stuff on your heart. This is okay, did you ever hear people talk about how God wants you to get your house in order? Like, he is going to have you start doing some things to your house that make you feel happy. Okay? Like, it's your house right now. You make that house your own. Quit thinking, oh, what would my spouse want? Do what is going to make you happy right now. Yes, get rid of stuff. This is huge. Seriously, this is one of the biggest things. God will want you to quit holding on to old stuff. My mom, I'm telling her the same thing right now. My dad passed away and she's holding on to a lot of the stuff because he's no longer here. It's not going to bring him back. I love him so much, but it's not. So she's holding on to stuff that at the end of the day is just stuff. Plants, curtains, candles, worship music. That is awesome. That's awesome. See, you got to get yourself in a place to where you're going to take up things that you enjoy, that brings you happiness, that brings you peace. I mean, joy, all these things. And when you start living, oh, just watch how things turn around. Levi. And another thing, that I want you guys to start doing is start taking care of yourself. I know I talk about this all the time. God has me helping a lot of you right now with meal plans, with health. That's a whole separate channel. If you guys want to be a part of that, that's on my other YouTube channel. I can't remember what it's under. It's linked. If you go to the community posts and scroll down, you can find the YouTube channel, the new YouTube channel. It's like my name, but I can't remember. I think it's like, it's Meg Ayala, something like that. But anyways, it's all like health stuff. But if you want help with that, I'm helping people do that. They can't believe the inches they're losing. They can't believe the shape they're getting in, how they enjoy eating healthy. They enjoy eating better. They feel better. I would love to help you guys with this. This is what I do on top of all this. I'm not just a marriage coach. I do it all. And I would love to help you with that, to feel better, to thrive, to be confident, all that. So you know my information. You can go on the other YouTube channel, get in touch with me, email me, Facebook. I love it. I love it. I love getting you guys to thrive, because on this journey, that's what you want to do. You want to thrive. And then your spouse is going to be like, what the heck did I do? You're going to be up here and they're going to be down here. And they're going to be wondering, how did I get here and how did they get up there? I'm so glad, Monique. Yes, get out there and start walking. Take Epsom salt baths. I love them. They're so good for you. They're so relaxing. Self-care needs to be a priority. How can you fill other people up if you specifically are not filled up? This is why, like, I always tell people, like, I do this every day. I need filled up. That's what my coach does. I need filled up. I can't fill all of you guys up if I'm not getting filled up. Seriously, we need to be filled up. So I got about 5 minutes, guys. Does anybody have any questions? Hey, Laura. I hope your day was good, girl. I was just telling everybody some encouragement of taking care of themselves, start living and doing things for them. Tomorrow's movie night, everybody. I'm so excited. I'm so pumped. Okay, so 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be watching a movie and doing coaching afterwards. It's going to be so much fun. Get your dinner, get situated, all that. So you want to get everything comfy. It's not meant to be like no judgment, none of that stuff. It's meant to get all cozy. It's meant to, what's the word for it? Relax. Enjoy a movie. We're going to talk about the movie after. We're going to review it. We're going to have open conversation and fellowship. I hope everybody can be a part of it. Okay, so Dennis, you're going to laugh. It literally is up in the air. So I have 3 movies that I can't pick between, and I want it to be a surprise. I want it to be a surprise. So I literally am debating. It's still like I can't decide. I'm praying on it for God to pick because I want it to be a good movie for everybody. And we already know that even if we've already seen it, it's going to be nice because we're rewatching it, we're learning new things, we're discussing it after. So either way, it's going to be nice. But I still am like praying on it because I want it to be like the perfect movie. Now, the end of the month, we're going to be watching The Passion of the Christ. I don't know yet when I'm going to do that. If it's going to be during the week or if it's going to be on the weekend before Easter. I'm not sure yet, but we're going to be watching the Passion. So if anybody is, interested in doing that together, I would love to be able to do that because that's going to be a good one. I have such a hard time sitting through it. I mean, you guys, if you guys are a part of it that day, are gonna see I might not wear makeup because my eyes will be like raccoon eyes. They really will. Little Johnson. See, I appreciate the compliment, Little Johnson, but it's like every time I'm live. Now, it's not as bad as it usually is with the hair and the Satanist. If anybody on here knows, you know. Well, guys, I got to go, but it was so wonderful chatting. I wanted to hop on here, even if it was for a little bit, to better explain everything and to be able to have a nice little encouragement to fill you all up. I hope you all have a wonderful night. Do something for you, start living. You might laugh, but how I like to enjoy the rest of my night, obviously, is spend some time with God. But I like to watch I Love Lucy. I know you're going to laugh and you're going to be like, what? How does somebody her age watch shows like that? I grew up with my dad watching those type of shows. They just bring me joy. I just like watching it. So TV land stuff. Oh shoot, just got on, I found it now. Okay, don't worry, Amazing Journey. I'm going to have it up to rewatch it. And anyways, I will see everybody that comes to movie night tomorrow. So if you want to be a part of it, message me before then. Get in touch with me on email to be able to get your ticket. It is $15 per person. Message me. I send the links tomorrow. So you all have a wonderful night. I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.